Hey then, folks, back to my battle vlog. Vlog all about my board gaming thoughts and what I'm playing, what's on the table, so on and so forth. And as I mentioned in the last episode, I was playing this game. This is the Battle of Cross Keys from the Death Valley Battles 4, the Shenandoah by GMT Games. Great fun. I'm having a good time with this. Makes me think, I haven't played this game. I think I'm at turn 4, but I haven't played in days. What a joy it is to come home when you're out doing other things. Days later, pick up a game, and there it is. So convenient. And, I could do that with board or miniatures games as well. But this game in particular, because it's got such a small footprint on the table, makes it stand out even more as a really convenient game. I've got all this set up and, I know what's going on. I can make little notes in the sides. And by the way, folks, plexiglass, dry erase markers, you can't beat them for your board gaming. I love it. I'm always writing little things on the sides here. One thing I notice about this game, every time I play, and granted, I haven't played a whole lot, but this game uses a lot of different elevations, which is highly useful in the game as a simulation and for looks as well. I mean, it looks great. A lot of different elevations. In fact, I don't even know how many's in this particular. Well, it says up there. You can see the elevations right there. There's like 12. There's at least a dozen different elevations there that go from like the lowest point where this creek is all the way up to the highest high ground. And because there's so many, the darkest is the highest. This lightest color is the lowest points. Sometimes gets a little confusing as to what is, how high something is, which is important for things like line of sight and calculating that. What I do is I write on the little plexiglass. You could see some of the numbers over here, but I actually write on the plexiglass the actual elevations of each contour going up and down and so on. Really useful. So yeah, get yourself some plexiglass, folks. I know a lot of folks don't use plexiglass, and that's fine. You got your reasons, but it's so much more useful. But anyway, just thinking how great this is to be able to set this up and pick up where I left off. Having a good time. And I'm about to get into this again. I'll probably do a little bit of moving some counters around, roll some dice tonight, and do some more on Sunday. It's my weekend off. And trying to catch up on where I left off. You can see the reinforcements here for the rebels just came in. This is a rather large brigade under Taylor. For the Confederates, they had just come in up this road right here, Port Royal Road. They're deployed in march column, basically. It's called extended column here because they were on march orders, moving up the road in this case. And same thing over here. I'm about to go into turn 3, I think. And this is when I'm going to change the orders of this brigade here from march to either attack or advance. Attack means I could move quicker, or not quicker. Attack allows me to actually move into contact with the enemy, close to them anyway. But there are certain restrictions in this scenario as to how many brigades I can put under attack orders. Otherwise, I could put them under advance, which is fine with me for the moment. We could move further. We just can't get close to the enemy. So we'll see what I do there. I'm going to do something. I think the Union is doing fairly well. They've got 2 brigades on attack orders, and the number of brigades I can put on attack orders, again, in this scenario, reflecting Fremont's, that's the Union commander, reflecting his hesitancy to get engaged with the enemy. He thought he was facing all of Jackson's army in this battle. He actually wasn't. This whole force here is about a division under Ewell, located over here. But he doesn't know that, so he's very hesitant to engage. So the number of brigades he can put on attack orders is very limited. It's based on how successful he is in terms of victory points and that sort of thing, which are kept track of as they occur each turn, calculated at the end of the turn. Normally you calculate victory points at the end of the game. There was a turn limit, of course. But in this case, it's every turn. And based on that, a little subtract this from that, and you get this value, and it tells you how many brigades he can have in the next turn on attack orders. So yeah, Of course, some of these brigades can act independently. It's called independent initiative. And I can roll once per turn for a brigade of my choice to be activated that way under attack orders. A lot of little special rules in this scenario. I think it's a great learning scenario, except for the special rules, which kind of, I don't know, put it above that. But if you do play this scenario, just set it up the way it says and ignore the special rules. Just play it. Get used to the artillery and the cavalry and the infantry moving around and fighting. I think it works good as an introductory scenario for that, played that way. But I like to think of it as a nice introductory scenario because of its size. In that sense, it's ideal. You're dealing with basically, two divisions going at one another. Yeah, so I'm having a blast with it. This is my first real scenario I've played, full scenario. And I do enjoy it. And I'll give you more comments and feedback on this scenario and update you folks as to my progress so far. Something else I have not been using much of is line extensions. That's where fairly big regiments can extend their line and basically have a presence in an adjacent hex to them, basically spreading out their troops. Otherwise, they're massed targets to enemy artillery and that sort of thing, although they're still pretty hefty when they get engaged with the enemy. I don't usually use those rules when I'm just getting back into the game because it does add a little bit more complexity, whether it's line extension or column extension. You kind of have to use column extension if reinforcements are involved, or marching orders are involved, I should say, which is the case with these reinforcements. But line, it's pretty much an option, but you will take a beating against enemy artillery, that's for sure. And it's more efficient, actually, to spread your troops out, I think. When you got a big strength point unit like this that's a 10, you kind of want to spread them out. So it'd be equally divided. That 10 would be 5 here and 5 over here. So it's spread out a little bit. That kind of thing. Got some low ammos, I see. So anyway, I think I'm at the top of turn 3. I think it's turn 3. Yeah, I think so. And I'm about to go through that whole procedure. And I just found out that I have 3 attack orders, 3 brigades on attack orders this turn. And I also rolled initiative before, and the Union has it. They had it previously as well. I believe there's a +1 on the initiative roll if you had it in the preceding turn. Yeah, so that kind of thing. So there's a look at the battle so far. Get a little zoom in here. You can see these nice, beautiful counters in action. There you can see some of the oncoming Confederates. And there's the Union troops who've marched all the way across the board, basically. On the road there, up where I was writing on my plexiglass. They came all the way up that road there, furthest from the camera. And they did that in one turn. That's the advantage of the march order. And lots going on here. Got the Confederates up in the high ground here. I could see how Fremont would be freaked out. He was pretty aggressive in his pursuit of these troops, but all of a sudden they turned to face him, and they're occupying this wooded area, heavy woods on their flanks, and they got some high ground. It's pretty tough. That said, over here, you just see him out of the camera, the Union, under Schenck, I believe. It looks like Schenck. He did force a crossing here across this stream. Is that a stream or a river? I can't see my thing. Stream. Thought so. No penalties really for fighting across that. But anyway, yeah, he did gain a foothold here and threw the rebels, or threw the Confederates back. This brigade here of Confederates under Stuart is almost 1 unit away from being combat ineffective. His brigade, anyway. He's got 2 regiments that are disordered. He's got 2 regiments that are in decent shape. They both were. The whole brigade actually was disordered at one point, but he did some effective rallying there. So there is that. But again, these guys have moved up and forced a crossing here. Very interesting battle. Really brings you into the battle, and you feel like you're there. I really enjoyed this game. Definitely one of my favorites, and I hope that as the weeks and months pass and I get more games under my belt, I can give this game the same treatment I've given, say, SPQR, and really go in depth with some of the basics of gameplay and play a lot more battles. For you guys that are curious about what is coming next, Flying Colors, I've got it on order, P500 at GMT Games. They're shipping these out. It can't be long now, a month or two perhaps, maybe even less. That's going to be coming very soon. This will be the deluxe third printing, so all kinds of goodies there. Comes a ship of the line, of course, and all that. I got that coming, and I'm looking forward to it. I know it's a lot of folks say that it's like information overload when you're playing the game. I mean, there's so many counters stacked on your ships, or you have to resort to the recording things on paper and so on and so forth. And that's cool with me. But we'll see how it goes. Flying Colors, that's one of the newer games I'll be getting this year. Actually, it'll be the first newer game I've bought this year. And depending on how well that goes, Serpents of the Seas, White Ensign, these are volumes 2 and volume 3 of the Flying Colors series. This, of course, is volume 1. That's the basic one, mostly the Napoleonic Wars, 7 Years' War, naval action, wooden ships, fleet actions, but very detailed on the tactical level. Should be interesting. We'll see where I go after that, if I want to get some of the other volumes in the series. I'm particularly interested in Serpents of the Seas, mainly because it's smaller actions, which I think is actually more befitting of the system, honestly. But again, we'll see. It sounds pretty interesting, so you can look forward to that coming soon, and I'll make sure I do a video update and unboxing and so on and so forth regarding Flying Colors. So there you go, folks. That's my update to my battle vlog, what's going on and what you guys can look forward to, and my thoughts on various things here. There's a counter from Great Campaigns of the American Civil War. Using that as a little control marker in this battle comes in handy. So, folks, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts on great battles of the American Civil War and some of my other games that I'm planning on getting into. Let me know your thoughts on that. And as always, folks, you guys hang in there. It's only going to get better. You take care, folks. See you next time.